Not live from YouTube, it's Whothoughts. And now, here's your host, Deceptive Maestro.
Yes, indeed, it is Whothoughts. Thank you very much to the very bad Peter Dixon voiceover tribute act. Hi everyone, I'm Deceptive Maestro. Welcome to episode 6 of Whothoughts. At least I think it's episode 6. If it's not, I'll leave an annotation with the corrections. First off, let me just apologise for not being here over the last few weeks. It's because, I've been pretty busy. School's been taking up most of my time. So, yeah, sorry I couldn't get some new videos out. But sure, look, I'm back now, so let's get underway. Now, at the end of the last video, I said I'd do my overview of my books, which would mainly be the new series books and the target novelizations, but sadly, I've had a change of plans, but I will be doing them later on, probably in the second series of Whothoughts, so don't you worry, that is coming. So what I've decided I'm doing over the next few weeks, is doing my own 11 Faces of Doctor Who review season. Basically, taking one story from each Doctor over the next 11 weeks, and do basically a review. So, without further ado, let's get started with the first story that I'm choosing. I thought it's in the William Hartnell era, and I'm not going back to An Unearthly Child like some people are doing. But the Unearthly Child review will be coming up very, 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 very soon. Probably nearer to the time of the 50th anniversary itself, so don't you worry. So let's get on with it, shall we? Let's just grab the DVD. And there goes my arm squash. So I've decided to go back to the finale of season 2 in the 1964-65 season, and I will be reviewing one of my favourite 60 stories, The Time Meddler. Such a good story. It is such a good story. I've been seeing a lot of people Doctor Who DVD collections and DVD collection updates, mainly with Bowles Trek and Dub Zoo Member, who are two of my featured channels on my YouTube page. Subscribe to them, they are brilliant. And I've always wanted to see the Time Meddler, and I got this for Christmas 2011. I watched it and it was absolutely fantastic. So let's go to the story. I liked the it opens right with the Doctor and Vicky. Of course, this just takes place just after the events of the chase when Ian and Barbara return to 1960s London, and they're like, oh, how we will see them again. And then a noise comes from the living quarters, and Vicky's like, Dr. McHugh, it's obviously Dalek. And then comes in, and we get Stephen holding his little panda mascot. I don't think we ever see that little panda again. And so after the TARDIS materializes, Stephen's like recovering, and he keeps calling like Doc, and then one of the good lines from Hartnell is like, now, there are two things you can do. One, sit here till you get your breath back, and two, don't call me Doc. Now, do I make myself clear? Yes, but let me say Doc. Oh! But one of my favourite bits is when Hartnell's going through some of the features of the TARDIS. That is the dematerializing control, and that over yonder is the horizontal hold. Up there is the scanner, those are the doors, that is a chair with a panda on it. Sheer poetry, dear boy. Now please stop bothering me. Then we come to the first thing that's something awry, really. The Viking helmet. Now this takes place just before, like a couple of days before Battle of Hastings I usually think it's the Battle of Hastings. Yeah, Battle of Hastings in the year 1066. I know that because the Hastings Direct adverts from a few years ago look like 0800 00 1066. That's a good catchy little song. Then some of the characters are the Saxon tribe is cool. I had no idea that the one who played Edith, aka the girl who gets raped off screen by a Viking, was her in An Unearthly Child. And so yeah, second appearance for her. Cool. And of course, this is one story where Hartnell takes like a week's leave basically. So the cliffhanger basically for episode 1 is probably one of my favourite cliffhangers. Basically, it's the Doctor going to this room and he finds what the supposed like monks like, oh, and then turns off and like, and then Britain. It's so funny. And then of course he takes his week's leave because we do hear the Doctor, but it's not him. It's just a recording that he made. I think it was made that week, the same week episode 1 was recorded. And yeah. So basically, episode 2 is mainly all about Vicky and Stephen trying to get on the good side of that Saxon tribe. And then of course we have the Vikings. The Vikings in this story are probably the biggest pussies I have seen ever in the history of Doctor Who. The Vikings are meant to be like these all-powerful beings, right? And they come up like pussies. It's just like, almost like, these Vikings shouldn't be pussies. Vikings meant to be Viking, give us all your gold, your gold or your wife, all that kind of stuff. But instead, no, they're pussies. Those two poor Vikings. And of course, one of the infamous sequences, of course, with Edith getting raped by a Viking off screen. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Why my thing keeps going dark. I honestly don't know. Gets raped off screen by a Viking. So yeah, first Doctor Who character to get raped. Cool. Okay, it was off screen, but she still got raped. And so yeah, those Vikings, they're very cruel. They harm girls anyway. They steal from them, they kill them, they rape them. But I mean, I had no idea rape existed in the year 1066. Well, obviously rape would exist as far back as 1066, but I didn't know. So yeah, that's a pretty cool eye opener there. What else? It's the monk. The realization that the monk has a TARDIS. Honestly, you could have seen that like from a monk. Oh, because obviously he's a time meddler, so it's pretty obvious that he's got a time machine of some sort. But I like how his is disguised. It's disguised as a little sarcophagus table thingy-jiggy, and you have to actually crawl into it, which is actually quite a cool little way. And it's like, it's a TARDIS! The monk's got a TARDIS! Oh! Yeah, but like I said, mile away. You expect that. It begs the question though, is the meddling monk another Time Lord? Could this be an earlier version of, say, the Master? Well, since he is sort of a renegade like the Master is, and the Rani, I suppose the Doctor to some extent, it could be possible that the monk is sort of like an early incarnation of the Master. But it's just too bad we didn't see much more of the monk, because he only appeared for 2 episodes of Dalek's Master Plan, mainly as a comic relief villain. So we never really get much more about the monk's character. But well, what else do I like about this? Everybody's having a bit of a time. Hartnell, you can just tell by some of these stories that Hartnell's just having a whale of a time. He's really enjoying it. Like I said, he got a week off episode 2, but apart from that, he's probably one of the strongest actors there. And of course, there's the odd Billy Fluff. But you have to spend a lot of Doctor Who stories just pointing at the Billy Fluff, Billy Fluff, Billy Fluff, Billy Fluff. Half the stories at least contain, this one of the stories contain at least one Billy Fluff. it could just become like a game, you know. They sit around with some friends, you know, watch some classic Doctor Who. Now let's pick out the Billy stuff. Yeah. Of course, we do know that Hartnell was nearing his illness was starting to get a bit more bad. I mean, he was okay, like, in the first season, but at least by midway through the second season, you could see that his condition was starting to get a little bad, and by the third season, it was getting worse. That's why, and then of course, episode 4, like, season 4, he would never have survived season 4 if he hadn't have. I mean, if he'd have stayed on for season 4, we never heard out in Patch 5 and haven't come up with like season 5. And as a result, we never heard John Baker view days and John Baker. A lot of their eras would have been shortened. So, I mean, if Hartnell stayed on for season 4, he wouldn't have survived that long. So, yeah, I'd say it's probably a good thing that he left after the second story of season 4. So, yeah, getting ahead of myself. Vicky and Steven, brilliant as always. The Saxons are cool, Monk, just brilliant characters. The Vikings, pussies, and overall, what do I think of the story? Yeah, nice little half historical, half modern day thing where we're back in 1066 and all these modern at the time. Like inventions like the record player and the watch, you know, and the toaster, and here we go, and going back to the Viking era, which I don't think we ever did again in Doctor Who. So we have a Viking story, which is good, nice little Viking story. So overall, and of course the ending of the story was just very good, where the dimensional controls box melts with it and just starts shrinking, at least the size of the inside of the sarcophagus thingy, and he's like, "You've ruined my time machine. I'm marooned in 1066." Yeah, it's just so funny. Episodes 1 and 4 are really good. Episodes 2 and 3 are meh, you know. Could have been better, really. But overall, I would give the Time Meddler. I know my reviews are quite brief because I don't really know what to say much about them. I don't prepare my stuff. I should actually start doing that. I would give it a 9 out of 10. It docks marks mainly for the standard quality of episodes 2 and 3. That's why I docked a mark, but it's still a fantastic story. And if you haven't seen Time Meddler, check out Time Meddler. You will not be disappointed. It is a brilliant story, one of the best of season 2. Just saying that because I haven't seen much of season 2 anyway. Well, that's it for Whothoughts this week. Thanks very much for joining me. Next week, we'll be doing a look at the Patrick Troughton era. And I've only 2 of this story, so it'll probably be... So this is next week, what you can expect next week. Next week, we'll be taking a look at The Tomb of the Cybermen. And yes, this is the original 2002 edition. I do not currently own the special edition, and quite honestly, I don't really care if I ever buy the special edition, because I'm happy enough with my 2000 my original edition. I mean, I got this just before, I think it was the year before Revisitation 3 was announced. And I was like, oh, what is it? I don't care. I just wanted the story. And this is Matt Smith's favourite story. So, yeah. And of course, later on I'll have another video later on. Of course, last night, which was the 18th of May, 2013 at the time of recording, the Eurovision was on, and Ireland ended up in last place, being out to Denmark. And I have like a little rant about why a lot of the good stuff just don't do well, and Ireland's performance over the past few years. Back from my memory, I'm going to go as far as back as 2003. So that's my first clear distinction memory of the Eurovision Song Contest. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you later on for that, and I will of course see you next Sunday for another edition of Whothoughts when we look at Tomb of the Cybermen. See you then.